Hi friends, Ari here with Authentically Ari. Jumping on here with another video related to your genes load the gun, but your lifestyle and diet pull the trigger. This episode's topic is all about glucose. And I did a previous video on how black seed oil and berberine helped me immensely get my insulin resistance under control quickly. That is a great video. I hope you watch that. I'll link it above as well. But I wanted to jump on here since that video, I would say those are supplements, and while I highly recommend you take those because that will help support your body in the meantime while you're understanding and trying to fix the situation. This video today is all about attacking it without the need for supplements. So getting to the root of it. Why is your glucose out of control? And what you can do that isn't a supplement to help regulate it quickly. So let's get started. For anyone new here, as a quick background, I have dealt with some prediabetes, insulin resistance recently after having both of my kids, along with a couple of other autoimmune issues I've discussed in other videos. But I am extremely passionate about this. I have worn a continuous glucose monitor on my arm for a couple years now. Diabetes runs in my family, and I have found so many ways to help fix this. And I am so passionate about sharing what I've learned with everyone. And you can take back your control. Let's do it now. The two key things I wanted to talk about that will help your glucose regulation the most, and that is your diet and also muscle. So one I wanted to talk about first was muscle. I wanted to share an amazing analogy that really helped me understand muscle and its impact on glucose. So this example from Dr. Gabrielle Lyon really changed my life. And the example she gives is a suitcase. So we're gonna think about muscle as a suitcase. So let's say you're going on a big trip and you're packing your bag. You're filling it up and it is just overflowing with clothes. You're overpacking, which I normally do. You're trying to close the suitcase and zip it up, but clothes are just spilling out. So that is exactly what happens in the bloodstream. If you are not exercising regularly and building skeletal muscle, you're basically overpacking your suitcase. So if you're continuing to eat and eat, you're out with friends eating, you don't exercise at all. You go to dinner, you're eating. You're basically static. This is exactly what she's saying, is that this is what happens in the bloodstream. When you're overeating and not disposing of the glucose, it has nowhere to go, which is exactly what causes all of the processes in our bodies to fail. So this results in higher levels of glucose, which in turn means higher levels of insulin that is secreted from the pancreas. So this can go on for years and years, which is exactly what happened to me. I'm pretty sure I've been insulin resistant for decades, and I had no idea. And now it turns out that in working with my endocrinologist, my pancreas is now overtired, and I am excreting very high levels of insulin for the littlest amount of carbs. I wanted to share this suitcase example, and for you to just have that in the back of your head every time you continue to eat without disposing of the glucose. And what Gabrielle Lyon, her focus is all about protein and obviously skeletal muscle, but how protein impacts all of this too. And I highly recommend you listen to some of her stuff. I'll link some of her videos below. But one of the things you can do is obviously train, so work out. And we're not talking about cardio, running long runs, increasing cortisol and stressing the body out. She's talking about resistance training. So that doesn't mean lifting heavy weights. You can use resistance bands. I have a kettlebell that I like to use at home. And then sometimes I will go to the gym, but My routine right now with the kids has been, if I do have a free moment, I will go on a quick walk, get some fresh air, get that natural sun in my eyes first thing in the morning, which is amazing for you. I can do a separate video on that. And then I will come back and do a kettlebell workout, which sometimes is 10 minutes, sometimes it's 5 minutes. But again, I am disposing of the glucose. I am helping my skeletal muscles. I am removing that static energy from my body so I can continue to consume. Long story short, high levels of glucose in our bloodstream is toxic. And that's exactly what diabetes is. And we want to avoid that at all costs. That can lead to so many problems. And Dr. Gabrielle Lyon talks about specifically for women, you see this happening with menopause and the loss of skeletal muscle and the lack of protein intake, and it's just a cascade effect. And heart disease is affecting women way more than men, and we do not talk about this. We can prevent this. And then the next thing I wanted to talk about was your diet. I have talked about this in many of my videos, and the first thing I will say is you do not need to go on a diet. You just need to eat your foods in a specific order. So like I mentioned, it would be good if you started your day with 30 grams of protein. That will get you off to the best start possible. The person I really follow for this is Glucose Goddess. She is all over social media. I'll link her information below. The premise of what she says is basically to eat your veggies, protein, and fat before any carbs. So that is what will help line your small intestine to prevent huge spikes and crashes. So when you're spiking your blood sugar constantly, you are not burning fat in between meals. You want your levels to be slow little waves. You don't want spike, crash, spike, crash. So I'll give some examples right here for you. This is a steady day. You've got your breakfast, little hump, and then down. And then you wait 3 hours, got your lunch, little hump, down. And you want to make sure that you are giving your body time to process between meals. So back to what Jessie was saying. If you're going out to dinner, to give you an example, make sure if they give you the bread at the table with butter, you put that on the side. You don't eat that right away. You order a salad, you order a veggie starter, something to fill you up. And then you can add in fats, obviously, all of that. And lastly, you would eat your carbohydrate. So for me, I went to dinner with my husband last night, and Jessie has a bunch of tools in her toolkit, but this is what I did. I ordered the beet salad first, so I was able to have that fiber first. And then also we got some hummus, some spicy hummus. I had some of that with some veggies. I dipped it in. And then I had my protein. I had some chicken, which was delicious, and there was some pita. So after I had all that, I was able to enjoy my pita in peace and dip it in the hummus and do all of that. You know, you don't need to kill yourself over this. It's just knowing that you don't need to completely flip your life 180 degrees. You just need to eat things in the right order, and that will make a huge difference in your glucose levels. She also gives some tips like drinking a tablespoon with water of apple cider vinegar before a meal. That will help. Going on walks right after meals. It doesn't have to be long, 10 minutes. Helps with digestion, helps with your blood glucose, and I have seen it on my continuous glucose monitor. It does help. So those are huge. Avoiding anything sugary for breakfast is huge. Starting your day with 30 grams of protein is huge. For me, in order to hit that, I will make a smoothie, and I will try to limit the amount of sugary fruit I have in the smoothie. The only thing I will put that is sweet is some berries, some frozen berries in the smoothie. But starting your day off on the right track is what will keep you going. So I'm going to end here. I would love to hear your comments if anything else has worked really well for you. And like I said, please check out my berberine and my black seed oil video as well. I am taking a break from berberine right now, and I am gonna put on a new continuous glucose monitor to see how my levels are doing. I will continue to take black seed oil. I think that is just so beneficial for many different things, not just glucose. So that will probably be a staple, but I'll revert back on a separate berberine video. But I'm here for you guys. Let's take over the world. We can't take over the world if we're sick and tired, and I really think that you can take back the control, and yeah, you got this.